Hi, I'm Sandy, and welcome to another day and Life with Sandy. Let's go have breakfast. Well, good afternoon. Today is Monday, April 17th, and we have a couple birthdays today. Today is April Ellison's birthday. So April, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear April. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Paul Newman, who is Esther Newman's husband. They live over in London. So by the time he sees this, his birthday will be over with. But I'm still singing to him because today in the United States, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Mary Keith, spelled Koeth. Mary told me how to pronounce her last name. And the name of her channel is Fun Kids and Fun Games. So Mary, thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your last name. It's Mary's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all of you have a great birthday today. We were at the school waiting for Alyssa. She just texted me about 10 minutes ago as long as it took me to get over here. Her ride called in sick today, didn't come to school, so she didn't have a ride home. And David's working. He's back working again. So she called and asked me if I'd come pick her up, and I went, of course I'll come and get you. So I went and got her. I went to breakfast with Denise, and I thought I filmed her, but it was one of those things where I thought I turned the camera on, but I turned the camera off, and then when I turned the camera off, you got a whole long breakfast length video of the inside of my pocket, which I'm not including because you don't need to see that. So, but all I ordered were some eggs and a cup of tea and a glass of juice. No bacon, no toast, no potatoes, just eggs and juice and tea. And you know what? It filled me up. It really did. And then I'll show you my lunch. I just had a ham and cheese sandwich with some avocado and tomato and cucumber. And then for the dinner, I took some chili out of the freezer. And I have corn on the cob and maybe a smoked sausage, a chicken sausage rather. So I'm so full right now. I don't see me eating dinner, but I'm listening to my cues telling me when I'm hungry, that's when I'm going to eat. And I'm not going to eat unless I'm hungry. I did lose 2.2 pounds. So whatever I'm doing is working. I think I needed that 7-week, what do you call it? Self journey or whatever, just to kind of learn a little bit about myself and know that I'm capable of so much more than I give myself credit for. So I'm trying my very best to stay on plan. I was trying to decide if I was going to just weigh myself once a month, because usually after I have a really great loss, it gets to my head, and then I psych myself out and tell myself, oh, they're missing a traffic, they're missing a back light. I'm not going to tell them to go to the Ford dealer. I'll charge them $67 just to fix the light. Anyway, so anyway, I just learned that, I can do all these things that I want. And here comes Alyssa. No coat. It's snowing. Well, snow flurries. But anyway, so here she comes. I don't think she'll want to be on the video, but we'll see. Hello. Here she comes. There she is. Well, I stopped by the post office and I got some mail after I dropped Alyssa off. I know that was kind of abrupt the way I ended it, but I wanted to get her on real quick before she could object too much. Oh, the dachshund. Looks like Stella or Lucy's, Christy's dogs. Hope you have a super great day today. See you in 30 days from today. Susan. Yeah, Susan, and hopefully Sue slims down. I think they're coming together. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that Sparkling Susan is coming. The first weekend in May, I think it is. May 6th, I think, is the date. And then she's going to get a tour of Jimmy's house. Maybe if we're lucky, maybe, just maybe, Royal come out of his hiding spot in the basement. I've never seen him from coming up from the basement. Okay. Do you want this spot? It's a very small post office. Well, it's not that small, but I mean, it's a small parking lot for as many people that go into this post office. And so parking spaces are like at a premium. Anyway, my doctor finally called my prescription in, so we're going to go over to CVS and get my prescription. I haven't had it since Wednesday. So it's a new doctor, so she's got my new records, but I think that for some reason they're not, I don't know why, but there's a little bit more difficulty. When I go for my annual physical in June with her, well, we went in May, or no, when did we go? In March. That was just a kind of meet and greet type of thing, you know, just kind of checking her out to see if we liked her, and we did. So we signed all the papers to have all of our medical records transferred over. And then we usually have our physicals like in May or June anyhow, so she didn't do any blood work or anything like that because she said with insurance she was just going to wait until we did it then. So we'll get our full checkup then. And then Jim's schedule has now changed this week for his work because he shoots on a Black Powder League, and the Black Powder League starts up tomorrow night. So we usually went to the gym on Wednesdays and Fridays, but now because he's going to be going to the Black Powder League at night, on Tuesday nights, he switched his working schedule, so he's going to work on Tuesdays he's going to work on Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays. And so that's why we're going to start going. So we'll go tomorrow and then Friday. And then Denise and I didn't go this week to the aquatic center. I don't know why. We went out to breakfast this morning, so that kind of shot that out of the problem. Not the problem. The possibilities. Excuse me. Thought I forgot my water. Got a little tickle in my throat. But I started watching on Apple TV Ted Lasso. I kept seeing all the previews and I kept winning all these awards, and I looked at it and I thought, that is not something I am going to enjoy. I just know it. Oh my gosh, I'm hooked. I'm just hooked. And then what got me, the way my TV works, my TV is so screwy. It's just, I don't know what the deal is with my TV in my room. In my little my she shed, but it's not a shed, it's my bedroom. Anyway, it just automatically sometimes turns off, or it automatically just turns on, which is a fire hazard, I know. But I think it has something to do with the next door neighbor's remote, because sometimes when Adam wants to go on his iPad, it'll say Adam is on his iPad now, and it'll show up on my TV. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway, so it's something screwy with that. But I was watching something oh, is this another long line? No, it's a park. They're parked. That's okay. I was watching Ted Lasso, and I was in season 2 and like episode 4 or 5, and somebody called me on the phone, so I put the show on pause, so it, pauses on the screen, and then I guess I talked too long on the phone, and then the TV kind of flipped off and it went off. Well, the problem with my television is when I go onto any of the apps, because I have a smart TV, although I don't know how smart it is. Whenever I go on any of the apps, if I don't exit the proper way, I have to reboot the whole TV. It's not a new TV, it's an old TV, but I have to reboot the whole TV just to get back on it. So I had to reboot the TV to get back onto Apple because it wouldn't let me get on there. And then when I went on there, it told me that I could only watch free subscriptions, not ones that you had to pay for. And so then when I went to sign in, it kept saying it didn't recognize my password. So I was getting aggravated. So I went in the living room to Jim's TV. I know it's not Jim's TV, but that's just how we keep them separate. And he could get onto the Apple with no problem, but he was watching something from something else, like one of the other things. So, did I forget my wallet at home? So anyway, I couldn't get on it. And I was getting so aggravated. And so then the next day I thought, well, let me try this again. And And I got on. It let me, I had to pretend like I was a new customer to get it to work, which was aggravating. But, so anyway, let's get to the point, Sandy. Get to the point. I'm watching Ted Lasso, and I absolutely, positively love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm almost done with season 2. I got 2 more episodes. And then there's, so far, I think 5 or 6 that have dropped from season 3. And then I'm going to be disappointed. So I'm watching that. I started reading the book I showed you yesterday, Dust by Patricia Cornwall, that was released in 2013. No, I never read it. I have no memory of it at all. And I read 100 pages yesterday. It's a 500-page book. I forgot to tell you that. 499, 500 pages, I'm going to just say. And so I thought, I'm just going to read like 100 pages a day. So I read my 100 pages. None of it sounded familiar at all to me. So it was, I never read the book. I don't know why I would have put it on the bookshelf, because usually I read a book and put it on the bookshelf, and then I'll read it again, and then I'll donate it to the library. But for some reason, I don't know why, I never read it. So anyway, it's very good. It's really captured my attention. So, and then trying to think what else we watched. Oh, I watched the Waco, The Aftermath on Showtime. It started last night. I like Michael Shannon. I think he's a pretty good actor. He's not the best looking man, but he's a good actor. I like him. He was in the Tammy and Hank and Tammy show, the one that they just did about Tammy Wynette and Hank. No, not Hank. George Strait. It was George Strait and Tammy Wynette. George and Tammy. It was really good. Jim and I watched that together. Jim doesn't like watching continuing shows because he said they annoy him. He'd rather watch them like when they're all together, and then you can just watch them all at once. Because we used to watch like on Amazon, Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton. That one was really good, but that's not on anymore. But so other than that, I don't know that I have much more to talk about. So I should have just went in. This drive-through is so slow. I thought my bank was slow, but I'm just being lazy now. So, and then what other? I don't have any big major plans for this week. Tomorrow is Danny's birthday. I'll call him exactly 10:11. I call all my kids on the time they were born, with the exception being Jimmy. Jimmy was born at 6:35 at night, and if I waited to call him at night, then he might think that I forgot about his birthday. So I call him at 6:35 in the morning. So I have to set my alarm clock so I can call him at the proper time. And then Christy was born at 9:43, and Danny was born at 10:11. So I'll call him tomorrow. He's going to be golfing, even though it's cold. He always golfs on his birthday. And then Thursday we're doing his birthday dinner. And then next Thursday we have Aaron and David have the same birthday. And then my niece Kathleen's birthday is the 23rd, and we're going to piggyback all 3. So we're going to do 3 birthdays next week, but only 1 birthday this week for our family dinners. So, all right, I'll be back. Well, with our new insurance, we can come to the CVS and still get a discounted price for our drugs, but they're a little bit more expensive than the mail order was with our old insurance. Not much, probably about $1 more. But those dollars add up. But now I'm all set. I can just call in my own prescription now for the next year until I have to. Well, I don't know. Maybe in June I'll just tell her to put them on file. Yeah, that's what I'll do when I go in June. So then I don't have to keep calling the office and then telling me I have to wait 3 to 5 days. Okay, you gotta wait for a light. But don't let me out. No. It's all about them. Let me make a funny, funky turn. Here we go. Yeah. But there's a will, there's a way. Hang on. You're driving with Sandy. When I had to take my driver's test, I just so didn't want to take it. And I kept hoping my mother wouldn't remember. I did like when we took him at school. At school, they had a little course. And it had... there was like 7 or 8 cars, because only 7 or 8 kids could be in the class. Well, no, I take that back. Only 7 or 8 kids could be driving. They had paced it out so that sometimes you were in class doing this, sometimes you were doing a test, and sometimes you were doing the actual driving. But they had little traffic lights and stop signs and yield signs. They had little fake railroad crossings. It was kind of cool. But so I didn't mind driving there because it was like if I had one of my panic attacks, it was just like a parking lot. Like I could just pull back go into the school and say, I'm done driving. So, but then when I had to do the on the street training, I learned at school they only had an automatic. No, our car we used to call it the Warrior, the wagon, the Warrior wagon. It was a Ford Fairlane station wagon with the paneling on the side. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was a stick shift. So I got all done with my class in school, passed, I got my little certificate, and then you have to do, at the time, you had to do 6 months on the road with a licensed driver. And so I pull in the car, and the first day with my dad, I was all ready to go. Well, let's go. And I look at it and I go, this is different than the school, because it was a stick. It was on the column. So my dad had to teach me. So he drove me over to. You can go, because I can see that you're going to go. Drove me over to Eastland Shopping Center on a Sunday to teach me how to do that, and we heard so much as I was trying to get into each gear. But I finally mastered it, and I was doing really well. I was doing so well. And so I did for 6 months, I drove with the stick. And then when it came time to do the test, because we only had the one car, my dad had taken it to work, my Aunt Rose picked me up, and I was hoping I wouldn't have to go because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to get my driver's license. My mother made me get my driver's license. So then my Aunt Rose picks me up, and does she not have an automatic? And I'm thinking, do I remember how to drive an automatic? So I asked her when we got there, I says, can we just drive around the parking lot real quick as a quick refresher? And she said, yeah, so we did that. And I passed. The only thing I didn't pass, which I said before, is I could not parallel park to save my soul. I just could not parallel park. We tried, I don't know how many times, and I just could not do it. And so the instructor could see that I was doing so well, and not so well, but I was doing better than at everything else other than the parallel parking. He says, I'll make you a deal. I'll pass you for your license if you promise me that you will never attempt to parallel park. And I said, you got my word. And so I promised him I would never parallel park. And I went when I was 16, and I'm 72, and I am proud to say for the last 56 years I have never attempted to parallel park. If I can scoot in, like you're driving up and then okay. But if I got to go and then back up, and no, I can't do it. I just can't. And even my sister's got the thing where it's got the little camera that you can see in the back and see how you're pulling in. I can't even. I don't even attempt it. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't even attempt it because I'm thinking, I made a promise. If I make you a promise, I'll take it to the grave. I am not going to break my promise. So I did break my promise. But then when my brother got his car, my brother was a book salesperson or a magazine subscription salesperson, where he would go to all the stores and get the subscriptions from them to subscribe to. He worked at Lovington News to get the magazines delivered. He would have them delivered to their stores and stuff. So they gave him a company car, which was a 4-door Chevrolet Impala. He was 19. But he had a Camaro Z28 with 4 on the floor. And it was red, and had bucket seats, and had racing stripes down the side. It had a, what do you call it on the back? Like those little wings on the back. Not a wing. Oh, I can't think of what they're called. Like your back would be like that, and then there'd be like a fin or something. There's a name for them. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, he had one of those. Like a sports thing or whatever. It was a sharp looking car. But he wasn't allowed to drive that for work. He had to drive the boring. So I was working at the time, and I was taking the bus, and so my mother always felt that you just shared with your family, you share. So as long as I put the gas in the car and he wasn't using it that day, I could use his car. So then I had to learn all again how to drive 4 on the floor. It was such a sharp car. I learned that right away. And then my brother plus my 2 brothers plus my brother-in-law Bruce had motorcycles, and they tried to teach me how to drive a motorcycle. I never mastered that. I was just too scared. That just scared me. So I never learned how to drive a motorcycle. But I would ride on the back of a motorcycle. I had no problem riding on the back of the motorcycle. But no, no. No. So anyway, I don't even know how I got talking about that. But we're home now. So let me show you what I had to eat. It's going to be a long video. I don't want to make it too long. So like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, for lunch I'm going to have some avocado, cucumber, tomato, and a ham and cheese sandwich. Cup of tea. Today is Monday, April 17th. My quote is, "It's smarter to look at portions than to count calories." Working on my portion sizes. I forgot to film my breakfast, but I had eggs, tea, and juice. And for lunch I'm having a ham and cheese sandwich with some avocado, tomato, cucumber, and tea. So there's lunch today. Okay, for dinner I'm going to have a chicken sausage on a roll. That's a whole corn broken half, and a cup of my Weight Watchers chili with just a little pinch of cheese on the top, and some iced tea. So there I go. There we go. It's dinner time. Check out my tracker. See you tomorrow.